Hello and welcome to the Flooring Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 10th of May 2024. After a really good show on Saturday, thank you for all the kind feedback and comments and various things we were talking about on that. We're going to do a lot more of those types of things. So if you're not on social media, like and subscribe, ring the bell, all the usual things on YouTube, and obviously you'll get notified of those ones as we come up and do them. We're probably going to do one in a couple of weeks' time again, where I'll be starting a new project to build along with those particular shows as well. So a lot of fun with those. But thank you for everybody who's supported. Thank you for everybody who's been buying the new trays. These are the new metal trays, which I sort of use as a tool tray, as you can see, which works really well for it. Keeps all your tools that you're using handy. That's not going to sit up now, is it? It took me ages to get that to sit up. There we go, goes like that. But yeah, so been selling really, really well. We are quite limited on them for the first batch, and there's a lead time of around about 8 to 9 weeks as well. So when the first lot have all sold out, I will put another load up. Remember, members, you get 15% off with your discount code. Enter that at the checkout and you'll be good to go. But anyway, I'll show you where they are a little bit later on. But we sold loads and loads of them. We're going out really, really well this week. So give big thank you. It's a big support for us. It really helps out the actual the business and the company and me and everything else like that as well. So big thank you to everybody who's been supporting us over the last week, buying those from us. Anyway, all started on Tuesday. Me and Matt show. It is a free to watch show. You can join on with this one. Not too much to talk about, to be honest. Sorry, because there's not too much been released and things going on in the modelling world and things like that. I was obviously talking about the Scout helicopter, which because obviously we did a review of that one this week as well. And we were talking about small kits and how nice they are and all those types of things. All right, then obviously we were looking at me working on the Apache. So we were talking about doing the TADs at the front end, how I'm sort of tackling that, doing it in subsections just to make painting a little bit easier with those ones. So we've got all of those parts going through in there and showing basically how the build's coming along very, very nicely. I'll do a catch up with that in a moment. Matt then was obviously talking about his Black Widow. This is the Dragon, which is the 172nd kit, which you can see in a minute. There's the full first part of this video build is up with you. It's not like a full video build, but it's a really good detailed look of how the kit goes together. And Matt's pointing out any little problems he comes across as he's making his way through the build. And don't ask him about the decals, because after this, he ended up having to paint them all on, because it didn't work out exactly well on that one. Anyway, we were talking about that, making our way through. I was talking about some of the problems that he's had with the kit and how he's been fixing it. I was talking about the tool tray, which is here as well. And obviously we were talking about real colour paints. Obviously we're waiting for the new ones to come in and things like that, and a few other tools and bits and pieces that I've got, and obviously PM Models has got as well. If you do want to catch up with this show, it is a free to watch. You can get it at usual places. It's all over Facebook. It's all over YouTube. It's obviously on the Flooring Models vlog page as well. If you want to catch up with any of those ones, you can do just down in there. Wednesday vlog was with me. I won't bore you to death with it, but basically I was trying out a new audio set and everything else. So we've now got wireless lav microphones. Now they do work very well in some situations, but to be honest with you, I don't think anything's going to beat a 275 quid Rode microphone that I'm recording this on. So it's always going to sound a little bit tinny and everything else like that. The whole point of having that microphone, to be honest with you, is doing walkabout and vloggy type things when I'm moving. And obviously I've got the camera in my hand. Traditionally the sound comes from the camera. And if I'm showing things, it's just a way of keeping it all a little bit neater and getting rid of any background noise and things like that as well. So big thank you to all the feedback. Got a couple of sound engineers who are members as well, who give me great advice onto it. And again, it's one of those things, you pay for what you get. And when you're paying the money I was paying for that, it does show you what you actually get. But as I say, I didn't want to bust the budget on something like that when it's only going to get used a handful of times. All right. So stay tuned. Obviously, you're going to do a lot more vlogging. The sort of daily vlogs are sort of going to come back in a short form as well. Little 10-minute shows, things like that. So they'll be coming up in the new sort of format in a couple of months' time. So keep an eye out for those ones anyway. Anyway, it was only a little roundup show talking about that and obviously what I've been up to and all the things just like that one. Then Matt had up with you on Thursday the Dragon build. So as you say, very, very nice. Bit of an upgrade we've done with the cameras and the sound. You can see it's all nice and clear now and everything. So Matt gave you a run through actually on the kit. Then he was talking about it obviously all going together. Some of the little fit issues he's had, various things he speaks about, which is really handy to know if you're building along with this kit. and then again making his way right the way through, talking about it, getting it all done, put together, a few little extras, things like that he's put into this one as well with the photo etch, getting it all painted up, looking very, very nicely. And then obviously all the parts down in here, talking about seams, ghost seams and filling and stuff like that, using a couple of different materials he hasn't used before, like perfect plastic putty. No, not perfect plastic putty, it's dissolved putty, isn't it? That's the one. Anyway, coming together, looking very, very nice. And as you would have seen, this is obviously was recorded a few weeks ago, and now he's obviously got it into paint and everything else. So part 2 will be along very, very soon, showing you all about that. This one is free to watch. It is up on the PM Models channel, as you can see here at the top. Just pop in there, PM Models UK, and you can go there. But again, you can find it as always on the Flooring Models site, and obviously it's in the forum, and obviously all the usual places and suspects. You can find all our stuff, and it is free to watch as well, so anyone can watch that one. So if you want to catch up with Matt and that one, it's a nice little 20-minute build along, talking about tools and various things, as you can see down in there, and about doing cleanup and those types of things, as you can see, as he's just about to start scraping. So there we go. Anyway, that one is up with you right now. All right, so you can go off and see that one. Next up, obviously up part 5 for members is available on the Apache. Again, we had a little bit of a break from it for literally about sort of a week or 2 weeks. So now we're back on the Apache solid now that the Y-wing's out of the way. So you might remember we had actually built the engine. So now we show getting them painted up, and now we're showing about doing the weathering to it. So 2-stage weathering. So oils, simple oil wash that I made up to act as a little bit of a filter right over the engines and show up some of the details, and then obviously do all the doors and all the bits and pieces as well to weather all of those. You can see on the internals all looking nice, and then we used a bit of 214, the actual dark iron buffable, the Mr. Metal Colour stuff, just to go around and dry brush and bring everything to life, and to sort of get the shiny areas shining and the dull areas looking messy. All right, so then we sort of fitted those into the actual engine, the cells themselves. Then we fitted in the cells to the aircraft. And again, beautiful fit, no fit issues at all. Went together very, very nicely. And again, we're going to be displaying it with probably one of the doors open, one closed, I'm thinking at the moment. But again, they do close up beautifully. So there's no problem with them closing up. They do go together really, really nicely. With that done, then we moved over to, it comes with a mask set, the kit, which is a nice touch. So we masked up the insides and the outsides of all the clear parts. And then because it's a little bit fiddly on the inside and things like getting the actual demister piping work put in there, the grab handles, we decided to spray it all black. Then we fitted all the sort of environmental controls, the rear view mirror for the gunner, all of those different areas down into that one, just down in there. Had a little bit of fiddling around to get the actual clear part to fit. What you need to do is make sure this center glass fits totally flush down onto this canopy down on here. So a little bit of fettling. None of this was glued. So after it was all sort of pushed in tight and clicked in, it all went together. But without it, we had a bit of an issue at the back here. So, but again, suddenly we had this big click, it all dropped down into place and we were all good to go. So there we go. That gets on with that one, just down in there with you like that. And to say, I've moved on a little bit with Apache. So we've got another part of this, which will be coming up with you on Monday, and we'll get you pretty much to what you see here. So we've got the tabs all finished and done. We've actually painted this all separately. So we've got all the metally bits all showing very nicely down in there. We've got the gun all built. That's all ready to go. So you'll see all about that one on Monday. You can see we've got that canopy framework and everything else is all in there now and looking good. And then we've worked on around the back end down in here. So we've got the tail. So we've got the tail plane on, and obviously we've got the actual tail wheel fitted with the other lumps and bumps that go onto it. So it's got the sort of wire protection stuff going on. So again, gets a little bit on here. We've got one fitted to the front. We've got one under here, the one around the tail. It's a little bit fiddly, but again, goes together really very, very nicely. So this is roughly where you're going to be on Monday with that part. So members, you can go off and you can see the next part on Monday. I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to push on with this one and get it pretty much into primer. Still got to do the rotor head and the fire control radar and stuff like that, and a few other bits and pieces. But generally, I think we're in a stage where we can get it sort of masked up in some areas and get it all painted and get the bulk of the paintwork done. Because obviously with the rotor head and stuff, we can do that all separate. The pylons and things we can do separate. I intend to go to town with the weathering on this, so don't flame me for it, but this isn't going to be a boring colour scheme. Hopefully it will come out exactly what I've got in my mind's eye of a really worn down end of tour looking Apache. So we're going to be fading that sort of paintwork right the way down, plenty of dust onto it and grime and oil and everything else. So we've got a really war-torn looking AH64D. So that's the plan for that one. So I've got all the paint sorted. Matt's sending me some ultra matte because again we want to flatten this one completely down as well. So it should be a lot of fun with that one. All right, so stay tuned for that one next week. Fully onto this one. Next week we'll be starting something new to go along with it. Something was a little joy this week was this little guy. I did the review of the Scout. Obviously the Wasp is out as well. They're technically pretty similar aircraft, the way they're going to go together and things like that. So anyway, we had a good look through the review, and again, the detail in 70-second stuff nowadays is absolutely beautiful, as you can see. As I say, really nice instructions all the way through, depending which versions you're doing. We've got nice engine detail. We've got obviously the various things, with this one being the actual Scout. You've even got the little missiles with it as well. The missiles are aftermarket, but the rails are available, so you can have it with the rails. Really nice schemes as well. So we've got Hong Kong version down in here. We've actually got one from the SAS units as well. One about a middle wallop in the old Raspberry Ripple, which looks really, really nice. And we've got another one from middle wallop with the training wing as well down in there. Decals are pretty good as well, no problem. The clear parts are gorgeous. They are very, very clear. Very, very nice indeed. So they tested the old look-through test very, very nicely. You see both types of tails down. You've got the Scout's tail and we've got the Wasp's tail. You don't get all the bits you're going to need for the Wasp, so don't think you buy one kit and do both, because you can't. But again, some nice details down in there. And again, for a 70-second scale, limited run kit as this is, actually, it's very, very nice indeed. The only thing I might want to see is a colour photo etch or a colour 3D printed instrument panel. That might be nice. But you can see the floor detail, very, very nice indeed on this one. So again, some nice options right the way through. So you've got the litters for it if you want to put the stretchers on the side, the various things as well. All right. So anyway, there we go. That's your Scout. Lovely little kit. And again, the last time we saw one was the World Cup in 1966. So again, I know there's a few other versions of it out there, but the mainstay ones, that's it. So Airfix's one was from 1966. So it's nice to get a nice bang new, up-to-date, new tooled Wasp and Scout kit to come along as well. So well done, LF Models. Really enjoyed that one. Up with you as well. Obviously, the store is open and we're fully stocked with everything down in here at the moment, which is very nice. And if you do want one of those nice trays, they are down in here, just £8.25. Remember, don't forget you get your 15% off with your code. So pop that in, and I've got your glue holders and other bits as well. We've got all the merch as well. So if you want to get any of these ones, you can do. We've got nice new merch picks with green on as well. So if you want to get any of those ones, you can do just down in there. So just pop over, as always, pop along to the flooringmodels.org page, and obviously just click into vlog. You can see all the shows and the various bits and pieces are just down in here. So if you want to see any of these builds, you can do. You want to have a look at any of the actual full video builds, just to have a look, just click in and you can have a look at them as a photo build. And obviously members, you'll click down in here and this will take you off to the video builds. But basically all of these open up to be very nice full screen images. So you can click through to your heart's content. And obviously we've got all the ones right the way through and a bit of blurb about each video down in here. And obviously we've got the reveal videos and pictures and everything else just down in here as well. So if you want to see any of those ones, you can do as well. All right. Lastly, over to the PM store. Been very busy this week getting obviously all your orders. We got the last of the 40% sale off Mini Art and 30% off of ICM. And obviously we've still got 15% off all real colour paints, all right, whilst we wait for new stock. It is very limited. Once it's gone, it's gone. As you can see, there's not a lot of this left. So if you do want to grab any, you can grab them right now. So got some really good discounts down in there. Say 40% off of all of the actual Mini Art stuff. And again, so if you want to grab any of those, you can do. And again, 30% off of all ICM kits as well. That does include the B26. So if you want to save a good chunk on that one, you can do, as always, just down in there. All right. So again, if you want to get any of the bits and pieces, special offers area, as I say, it's just a couple of bits and pieces down in here. But we have got the Academy Zodiac. That's available down in there as well. And again, there's the My Review samples as well. So if you want to grab any of those, you can do as well. They are in the specials area. Just pop along to pmmodelsuk.com and you can find all there. Plus the fact we've got all your tools and sundries and everything else, and everybody else's kit down in there as well. So if you want to get any of those ones, you can do just like that. And that is about it for this week. So a little bit of a shorter week, obviously having the Monday off. Next week be a full week right the way through. So we're getting on with that one quite nicely. As I said, get this one done. Painting's going to be so much fun with this one. Join us for that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. I've got big plans and big ideas for it. I've got lovely reference shots as well of one that's absolutely hanging, is the best way to describe it. So we should have a lot of fun with that one. Again, if you want to get yourself a tray, they're available. They're in the store, and you can see the Scout review is on there. And obviously you can see Matt's one as well. Just pop along. You can watch all of those videos to your heart's content. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. And trust me, there's some real nice stuff in there this week. Hang around and see some of those builds as well. So till Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.